Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a chicken water out of a little more than a 5-gallon bucket, a piece of PVC pipe, and some chicken water nipples from Tractor Supply. This is a pretty simple water, only has a few parts. Luckily, I had a couple of them already laying around the house. You're gonna need a bucket or some sort of reservoir for your water. I'm gonna use this as my distribution bar. And then you're gonna need some nipple waterers. I got these from Tractor Supply. You're also gonna need 2 hose barbs that screw in, one for your distribution bar and one for your reservoir. Some tubing to get from the reservoir to the bar. Some end caps, obviously, for your bar. I'm gonna hang the bucket with this hook. You also need a drill and a drill bit. And I'm gonna use some Teflon tape. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So let's put this thing together. So let's see. On one end of my end caps, I'm gonna throw a 3-inch hole through the middle of it. 3/8 hole, actually. You know what? I'm wrong. I'm messing up. For these hose barbs, it's a 1/2-inch drill bit. So you need a 1/2-inch and a 3-inch drill bit if you're gonna do it like I am. So these are 1/4-inch male pipe thread, 1/4-inch hose barb. Woo-hoo, watch out. There it is. Oh my word. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. The hole right through the table. So I'm gonna deburr everything here. Take one of my barbs. Throw a little bit of Teflon tape around it. I don't know that it's super necessary to have the tape, but just in case. Keep it from leaking, maybe. Alright, and just screw that dude right in. Whew, it's tight. I'm gonna grab some pliers. All right, there we go. There's one end. Let's see. I'll go ahead and deburr this. Then I'm gonna have to run and go grab some PVC glue. You know, something told me not to drill on top of this, and there it is. Alright. I'm going to do one more. I'm scatterbrained today, but I'm going to do one more 1/2-inch hole for this other thread in the side of this bucket. So it's going to be hanging like this. I'm going to put it in the side so it can just wrap around to the into the coop. I'm going to put it about 1 inch up from the bottom. That way if any sediment gets in there, it can settle down and it won't get in the lines and mess up these little nipple drinkers, because these do get stopped up sometimes, but you can just unscrew them and clean them out. Helps if you got it on forward, not reverse. There we go. Take my other barb. A smidge of Teflon tape on there. Like I say, I don't know if it's super necessary. These lock up pretty tight as long as you got the hole drilled the right size. A couple of burrs out of there. holes, we can get rid of that drill bit. So now I'm gonna take my 3/8 drill bit, and you don't have to do all four. Four is probably way too many for 7 chickens I've got in the mobile coop, but I've already got one for the other coop, so I'm gonna put them all here, and that way if maybe one gets stopped up or 2 get stopped up, they still have a couple others to drink out of, and they're not out of water without me knowing it. So, a couple holes. Too close to the ends. 2 kind of in the middle. I'm not measuring. I promise you the chickens don't care how far apart they are. They honestly will probably use 1. So, get the burrs off. Let's throw these nipples in here. Have a little gasket on, so I'm not going to put any Teflon tape on there. As long as they get down to that little rubber gasket, they should lock up pretty tight. I'm not sure how much this costs if you have to buy everything new. I would say $6, $10, $15. The nipples are probably what's the most expensive. I think they were $9 for the pack. So if you wanted to do 2 feeders with, or 2 waterers with 2 each, you kind of split your cost there. I think the tubing for, I think a 10-foot section at Lowe's was like $8 or $9 as well. So I would say if you had to buy everything, you'd probably get away with it for under $50, which is quite a bit more than like the bucket style feeders. But to me, this is so much more convenient. You don't have to go in the coop, and there's every now and then one of these will get stopped up, but that is very rare, especially if you're keeping the lid on the bucket to keep leaves and debris out. As long as you're putting clean water in there, this thing pretty much does not fail. Now that said, I have had one before freeze when I got very, very cold, but here in Mississippi that is pretty rare. So if you're in a colder climate, I would maybe think about another version, but even then I think it'd be good. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go grab some glue. I'll be right back. Slap it all together, and then we will go ahead and slap it into the coop. Don't know why I'm saying slap it. We're gonna install it in the coop. Primer. A little bit of glue. I'm not a plumber. This is not, doesn't have to be super accurate. Glue it on there. And the other end, primer, cleaner, whatever you want to call it. Glob of glue. All right, so that is pretty much it. We'll walk over to the chicken coop and get this baby installed. One thing you might want to do is get a 2x4 block and set underneath that, because it can get, 5 gallons of water can get to be a little bit much on just the bale, especially if you're moving, if it's a mobile coop. I'll also probably grab a bungee cord, and that way it doesn't swing when you pull on it. But let's go install it. All right, so we're gonna put the bucket, the reservoir, on this vertical piece. I'm also gonna I've got some scrap pieces of 2x12. We'll make a little shelf to put here that will support some of the weight so it's not all hanging by this little hook. The hook should hold it, but just give it a little extra insurance so that the handle is what I'm really worried about breaking. One more thing I don't think I mentioned was you don't have to do it, but it makes installing this much easier. It's a, I believe either a 3/16 or a 1/4 inch drill bit. 3/16. Makes it a little bit easier to install this hook. Not necessary, but just a little help. You could pick which side you want the barb on. Currently the water's on that side, the food's on that side, so I'll have them separate, I guess. I think that would work the best. But like I say, you can change it. Not that hard. You just throw the bucket the other way on the hook. When that gets a little water in it, should be resting on that. Also, I'm gonna take a bungee. I may have to do this different. We'll try that for now. If that doesn't work, I'll probably put a screw on the inside on this vertical 2x4 and strap it to that. But I think that will offer just enough resistance to keep it from bouncing away. So the old style water I was using was this bucket style here, and it is it's heavy. You got to flip it upside down and then right side up. You got to hang it. You end up spilling like half of it. So I really like this style of water. One more thing. Let's do it in here. One more thing I would say you might need, and I actually meant to buy, is like the pipe strapping that they use underneath houses to strap pipes, the drain pipes, to like the floor joist. However, if you've got a little piece of wire, this isn't going to be that heavy. It's got a little water in it, but 10-15 pounds max. A couple pieces of wire, hang it up inside here, be good to go. Well, it does help if you cut it long enough, so. Let's see if this one's long enough. I had some plywood stuck to the side of the coop to keep some wind off of them when it was so cold during the winter. That one's not long enough either. So what I'm going to do, back out, I think, honestly, tying it to this chicken wire is plenty. It's probably not the best. And if I notice it sagging once it gets water in it, I'll throw a screw in either side and just tie it to that. But once this is up, it's pretty much a set it and forget it type situation. Put that there. And I honestly don't think that's gonna go anywhere. Oh, so I'm gonna get rid of this and get it hooked up to the reservoir and get it full of water. That should be it. Well, I got distracted the other day when I finished this, and I didn't get to show y'all the finished product, but there it is, reservoir hooked up. I kind of snaked it through some of this wire, plugged it in. Let's see if you can see, yeah, right down there. Maybe one of them will drink out of it for us. Maybe not. They're on new grass, so they're not really worried about water right now. But that's the finished product.